Good afternoon, Miami Dolphins fans. This is Mike from DolphinsTalk.com. It is Tuesday, my bad, October 27th, at about 3 p.m., and we have a breaking news news conference here because the big story just broke or is just being reported from Omar Kelly of the South Florida Sun-Sentinel that the Miami Dolphins are exploring and fielding trade offers for Xavien Howard. Excuse me, let me clear my throat. Which I think catches a lot of us off guard and a lot of us sort of by surprise that they would even entertain trading Xavien Howard at this time. Now, there's a lot of factors here, and I got to admit, when I first saw the report, when I first saw the news, I was like, what the heck are they thinking? And I still kind of feel that way with this. First and foremost, we don't know what the trade... Well, per the report, they have one trade offer already in hand that they can say yes or no to. So that's in hand. And if, once now word is out that that Howard could be had via trade, I'm sure more trade offers will start to pour in the coming hours and days. The trade deadline is until next Tuesday, which happens to be Election Day, November 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern. So whether Howard's here or not, we will know here in about a week. So the Miami Dolphins have a week here. The one thing to remember is if they do not trade him prior to Sunday's game against the Rams, and they are serious about trading him by November 3rd, or they might trade him by November 3rd if they're not sure, Howard can't play Sunday. You have to make him a healthy scratch because you can't risk him being injured and him, then losing his trade value. Either you're going to trade him or you're not. You can't be sort of half pregnant here, so to speak. So I would expect we'll know by Sunday what's going on with Howard. If he plays, then I don't think he will be traded and he will be a Miami Dolphin moving forward. If he's a healthy scratch, that's a sign he will be traded, or he could be traded prior to Sunday, which is also, look, it's only Tuesday. Very, very possible. Let me read the report for those of you who haven't seen it yet from the South Florida Sun-Sentinel. According to league sources, the Miami Dolphins are fielding offers for the Pro Bowl talent. The sources said the Dolphins already have an offer on the table for Howard and are seriously considering moving the 27-year-old before the NFL trade deadline. Now, here's the thing. A few things here. Howard, he's 10 months removed from surgically repairing his his knee. And he's had, knee issues on and off since college. This isn't like a new thing for him. He's had knee issues for a while now. And as someone did point out here in our chat, yes, it would be selling him while the stock is high. Clearly, 4 interceptions this year. Like I've been saying on the podcast, he is playing at an NFL Defensive Player of the Year type level. So you could get a haul in return. I don't think it's a Laramie Tunsil type haul, but you will get a haul in return. So what could they possibly get? Well, you're getting I would assume you're getting no less than a first-round pick for him. Now, you might actually get a first-round pick and more because, as we always say in the NFL, the 4 key positions on any team are quarterback, left tackle, pass rusher, cornerback. Those are the 4 that matter. The 4 most important positions. Howard is a number 1 cornerback on any team in this league. Almost any team. It might be like 1 or 2 where he's not, but almost any team. So, if you're going to move someone like that who's under the age of 30, who's playing at a very high level right now, you're going to get a haul in return. Like I said, no less than a first, probably a first and more. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Could they look to move Howard for a player? And there's a few big names. Well, one comes to mind, and I don't know how much. It is a fit with Miami because they do have a need, which is Michael Thomas with the Saints. Now, there's a few things here. Number 1, Michael Thomas and Parker don't get along. But that stuff can be fixed. That's number 1. Number 2, Michael Thomas is owed a lot of money over the next 3 or 4 years. He will count $20 million or so on your salary cap, I believe through 2023. Don't hold me to it. I might be off by a year. So he is going to eat a lot of money on your salary cap moving forward. But on the flip side, you would have Thomas, Parker, and Preston Williams as your top wide receiver core. And that does give the young quarterback Tua no excuse not to succeed. He would be the one superstar player I think you would possibly trade Howard for. You could do that straight up. You could do it Howard for Michael Thomas in the pick, because Michael Thomas has worn out his welcome with the Saints, and they're probably looking to move him. Once again, pure speculation. It's not being reported anywhere that Michael Thomas could be on the trade block. I'm just brainstorming out loud here, so everyone take that with a grain of salt. Don't go saying I'm reporting this, because I'm not, and I have the video to prove it. So, but most likely it would probably be for a draft pick, as the Miami Dolphins would want to, trade Howard to then be able to select someone in the upcoming draft. Now, here's the other side. You have the Miami Dolphins right now are 3-3, and they are really close to, they're in the playoff hunt. Whether they make the playoffs or not, who knows? There's still a lot of season left, but they're in the hunt. You trade Howard, they're going to be stuck with either Nick Needham now starting, and he has struggled this year mightily, or Noah Igbinoghene, who, when Jones went down, he struggled a lot. But he's a rookie. You can expect him to have some growing pains, but you're essentially throwing him into the deep end of the pool here for the next 10 games, where there's going to be no relief. There's going to be, he can't take a breather, where you can't put him on the bench for a week or two and just let him play a little bit like he has the past couple games once Jones came back against San Francisco and the Jets. So if you trade Howard, Igbinoghene, he's out there the rest of the year. Whether he's playing well or not, they don't have anybody else to put out there. So that is one of the dominoes to fall should they trade Xavien Howard. Once again, this news sort of is catching everyone off guard. Let me check, see if anything new has been reported since I started this. Doesn't look like it. But, what teams would be interested in trading for Howard? I think it would be teams who think they have a realistic shot at the Super Bowl. And, it's probably going to be the usual players here. You would think a team like the Chiefs, like the Ravens, Pittsburgh in the AFC would be in play. In the NFC, Seattle. You might even look at a team like Arizona, the Packers, and maybe even Tampa Bay. But I don't know how much money Tampa Bay's got left. But teams who think they have a chance. So if it's those teams, the first-round pick you're looking to get in return for Howard would probably be later in round one. Now, it's still a first-round pick at the end of the day. So you can't be too picky on where it is. It's still, a first-round pick's a first-round pick. And the Miami Dolphins already have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. So they had a third first-round pick. Would put them in a position to be, once again, big players in the 2021 draft. Big players. But, then you have to question, we're going to need another cornerback. Because you're trading a talented player, Igbinoghene, even if all things go perfectly, then becomes, your number 2 cornerback with Jones. Well, who's your nickel corner? Nick Needham? I don't know if he's a long-term answer. Or you flip it around. Nick Needham starts and Igbinoghene moves into the slot. So, trading Howard does create another hole that has to be filled. So, yes, you're getting picks, but you also have to fill another hole now. And I don't know. It's just very curious because when I first saw the news on Twitter, I put up, and this is the case with the Dolphins, and it has been for many, many years. It has been for many, many years. And someone just saying, Barry Jackson posted, it's just a rumor by the Sun-Sentinel. True, nobody's saying it will happen, but it is a report. It is, stuff gets leaked like this. And sometimes it's true, folks. Sometimes it's true. I remember when the news broke there at the end of summer that, and I believe it was also by Omar Kelly, that Raekwon McMillan was on the trade block. Everyone said, no way, not going to happen, no way. And 3 hours later, he was traded. So, again, it might not happen today. It might not happen tomorrow. We won't know until the trade deadline on the 3rd. Let me see what Barry Jackson's saying here, just so I can address it. So I talk in here. Dolphins to me. Okay, this is from Barry Jackson, the Miami Herald. The report in the South Florida Sun Sentinel is factually incorrect and based on rumors. The paper practiced poor journalism by not reaching out to the team for comment or the chance to respond to the story. We are not exploring any trades regarding Xavien Howard. Okay, and let me tell you something. That don't mean a hill of beans, because they said the same thing last year when it came to Laramie Tunsil. We're not trading Laramie Tunsil. We're not trading Laramie Tunsil. We're not trading Laramie Tunsil. Guess what? They traded Laramie Tunsil. So the Miami Dolphins telling the Miami Herald that the Sun Sentinel report's wrong don't mean squat. Okay? Their words fall hollow. It means nothing, because we saw last year that they shot down that Laramie Tunsil report for days, and they ended up trading Laramie Tunsil. So this is the same. We've seen this before. We've seen it. We saw it last year. They will shoot down reports, and they're going to do what they want anyway. So, they're just mad at the Sun Sentinel's reporting this, because if they don't trade Howard, now you have a disgruntled player on your hands. And this is why, I hate to say it, folks, the Miami Dolphins have been the Miami Dolphins for 20-plus years. They can't get out of their own way. And stuff like this should not be leaked out. The situation last week where the quarterback change was leaked out. You got this leaked out. Xavien Howard now is probably calling his agent, going, if they don't want me, screw them. And maybe the Miami Dolphins, if they are telling the truth, don't want to trade him. But you now have a disgruntled player, most likely, on your hands. And that's why the Dolphins have been the Dolphins for 20 years. But, we'll see how this plays out. It could be a big nothing. Might be, as some people say, a big nothing burger. Or, there might be some smoke here. When there's smoke, there's usually fire. Who knows? But if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I am not trading Xavien Howard. He's 27. The goal of an NFL team is to draft players, develop players, make them building block cornerstone players, and then win championships with those players. The Miami Dolphins drafted Xavien Howard. They developed Xavien Howard to one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Now the goal is to make him, he's still under 30. You paid him already. Make him a building block to where he is a big part of the reason you might someday win a championship. And you cannot continually trade those types of people away. Draft picks are nice, but guess what? They don't pass out rings for stockpiling draft picks. You got to win games on the field. And right now, the Miami Dolphins, with Jones and Howard on the field, are playing fantastic defense. Okay? Fantastic defense. And I would not look to upset the apple cart here. I would continue to pay Xavien Howard. Keep an eye on his knee. Obviously, that's something that is a concern, big picture. But his contract is relatively team-friendly, too. It's not a crazy contract. So, we'll see. I'm sure we'll have more about this on the website in the coming hours and days. And we'll have podcasts up and such. But, for those of you just tuning in now to this emergency breaking news press conference, the Miami Dolphins, per the Sun Sentinel, are exploring and fielding trade offers for Xavien Howard. The Miami Dolphins then reached out to the Miami Herald. Well, let me say that again. So the Sun Sentinel is reporting, because I'm not sure what I just said. The Sun Sentinel is reporting that the Miami Dolphins are fielding trade offers for Xavien Howard. The Miami Dolphins then reached out to the Miami Herald and said that is not the case. But, as I just sort of said, what the Miami Dolphins say falls on deaf ears right now, because we saw this last year with Laramie Tunsil when they repeatedly said they wouldn't trade him. So, I think it would be a mistake to trade him. I think what we've seen from the Miami Dolphins for San Francisco and the Jets, when you have two lockdown corners on the field at the same time, it allows the pass rush to open up and allows them to play the type of game that you want to play on defense. I would not change that at all. But if they did trade him, man, they better get a lot back in return, because 27-year-old lockdown, shutdown cornerbacks in this league do not grow on trees. They just don't. And if you're going to part with one, you better get a lot in return. You're getting no less than a first-round pick, and you're probably getting a first-round pick and more. And if you're going to talk about players involved, you better get not just a quote-unquote guy. You better get a guy who can contribute in a big way. So that's how I feel about the situation. We will see how this goes in the coming, like I said, hours and days. But thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this emergency little press conference here on Instagram. Be sure to spread the word to all of your friends who are Miami Dolphins fans to follow us on Instagram. Because when news breaks, I'm going to be doing this all the time. And we're going to be doing more stuff in real time, prior to our podcast, which we drop every day, which is great. But in real time thoughts, real time reactions. So be sure to spread the word to follow us on Instagram at Dolphins Talk to all your friends who are fans of the Miami Dolphins. And, if news breaks later this afternoon, we'll do another one of these. So, everyone, have a great rest of your day. And maybe I'll be talking to you again in a few hours, or maybe not. Take care, everybody.